We're live now.
Everything's named after something real. Here in Bull Nuts, Ontario.
Steelhead Alley.
The Wade and Carter Show is a paid programming, and KHMC Magic 95
Only
Once a week. Oh, the Cowboys suck. Woe is Victoria. Biden promises vaccines. All that and a whole lot more coming up on today's Wade and Carter Show. Let's do this. Hey, how are you this morning?
Good morning, Mr. Excitement.
How are you?
I'm good.
I am. I don't know why. It's called on Wednesday. That might be why.
Well, it's a great reason to be excited.
I think it is as well.
This thing on?
So yeah, it's on. I don't know what's going on.
I never know what's happening here.
You gotta get it right in front and speak right into the microphone.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
4 years we've been doing this.
And you're just figuring this out?
Yeah, but it's not
Yeah,
working.
I don't know. Something's not right. Yeah.
How about that? How about test?
Speak out. Maybe that helps.
Hello.
Enunciate.
Hello.
Let's do this.
Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at Deerland Feed, Deerland Ranch Supply, Deerland Fence Supply, Deerland
Hay Supply.
Hey. If you need pesticides, liquid death, give my saddle, tack,
Fertilizers. Ryegrass.
cattle
They got it
prods,
all. Hot shots.
cool gifts too, pocket knives, functional tools for the working man.
I think they have that fly salt gun.
Yes. Get by there. Deerland Feed. 45 degrees in Victoria under clear skies, heading to a high today of 81. It's spring. Be ready.
Spring is sprung.
Get your new flowers out. 81 degrees for a high today. Will feel like 90 when you get in your car. You like that feeling when you get in your car, like you go in someplace it's kind of wintry. You go in like for lunch, like Veracruz today. You got the caldo. You come out, it's cold, man. You get in your car, but the sun's been beating down on it. It's like a greenhouse in there, and you get in the car and it's hot. I love the feeling of a hot car until I can get the AC cranked. Love it.
Scott Snow, first one in. Good morning to you, sir. Natalie Mayer checking in. H.R. Mallory, Jeremy Pena.
Scott, be watching your mailbox. You'll get what everybody gets for being the first one in.
Richard King, good morning. C.W. Bean, Bobby Leister. Bobby, hope you, hey, we're up to 337 YouTubers, and I saw Bobby had a surgical procedure, so I hope you're recovering and glad you're in with us this morning. So
hope all is well.
Speedy recovery to you, sir. Judge Posey, good morning. Chris Conrad. Chris Conrad needs to bring some content again like he did yesterday. He was kind of a good wingman yesterday. He was like that third guy on the line.
This is one of my favorite people.
Gretzky, Curry, and Semenko over there.
Semenko? Why am I Curry? Good morning, Rena.
Because you don't know anything about hockey.
I know nothing about hockey.
Rena Scherer, good morning. Michelle Wilson-Hawkins, Steven Kidder, Tammy Williams, Andy Ria Jr., the Iceman is in.
You get called for icing again. I'm taking you to the boards.
Patrick Strauss. See, that's such a I know nothing about hockey. I'm just going to say something about icing, which is probably the most benign infraction that you can do in hockey. All it means is you just shot the puck down the ice. There's no.
I'm gonna high stick you in the hee-hoo.
He's McSorley.
Yeah, high stick you in the hee-hoo.
Technically, it's not a high stick at that point.
Right down there around your knee. Get you around the knee, mid thigh.
It's more a intent to injure. Gross misconduct they probably
Gross
give you on that
misconduct.
one.
I think hockey referees ought to have flags. That'd be great. Or snowballs. Wow. Hit you upside the head.
That would be a good one.
They always sound like weird numbers. You number 68.
Yager.
Yeah. Beautiful. Hello, Bob.
Run off some numbers. I'll name an NHL.
Good morning, Judge Posey.
I'll name an NHL.
31. Good morning, Judge Posey.
31.
37.
31, Grant Fuhr, I think.
37.
Oh,
Larry Zonka. He was a hockey player just with a football in his hand.
Exactly. I don't recall any 37s.
21. Jim Kick.
Jim Kick.
Running back. Miami Dolphins.
J-Dub was 21. It's J-Dub's number.
Juan Soto is forever 21. Heard Joe Buck and Troy Aikman last night. Troy Aikman just said it straight up. In the first half, Lamar Jackson, who looks a lot like the love child of Samuel L. Jackson. If I find out his name is Samuel Lamar Jackson, there's going to be some questions
to be answered.
Jackson, it's 4th and 2. And he tells the coach, now just no, let me do this. And the coach is like, okay, Mr. COVID positive.
Well, I mean, what, at the 37, right?
Yeah, so Lamar.
So, I mean, you're almost in that no man's land. It's a 47-yarder just from the line of scrimmage. Back it up 7 for the kick or 5.
54 yard. You can't really punt. Yeah. Why punt? It was late in the half. Not really. But anyway, Lamar, I just made that up to try to make it more dour.
Yeah, a little more, urgency. Drama.
The game had no drama. I mean, the Cowboys start off, they played well.
Cowboys were up 3-0 at that point.
Yeah, Jackson just drops back and runs right around. Vander Esch was like going to his right when the play was going to his left.
Straight up his middle.
And Lamar just jogs in and scores. And Troy Aikman just said it. He goes, folks, this Cowboys defense is not good. Now, Lee and Ida, what were they playing last night? They were playing a 3-4.
I think that's what they always play.
Well, are they – then he says they're built to play a 4-3 or vice versa. They're playing a 4-3, and they were built to play a 3-4. And they're not good. And the only reason the offense has the big numbers it does is because it started off so spectacularly.
Well, and I would argue that a lot of those numbers, though, think about it. A couple of big comebacks when teams were sort of playing prevent defense, right?
Yep. Lots of yards.
Not
lots of wins. No. Guaranteed themselves, folks. The Dallas Cowboys are 3-9, and they have guaranteed themselves a losing season.
And the problem is you're not even in the running for the first draft pick because you got the New York Jets that are so bad.
And Ash, in all fairness to Dallas, because I was going to toot our horn as the people that pointed out before the season that this is roughly where they would be. We did say 8-8.
You said 8-8. I think I was not so optimistic.
Yes, you may have been 7-9. But let me tell you.
Which is as good as they can finish this year.
I'm not taking it from you, Ricky Bobby. Don't put that on me. I don't want the asterisk that says, well, Dak got hurt. This team is a lot more than Dak Prescott away from contention, which is why you don't pay that guy $150 million for 3 years. That's why you don't do it, because he is not the difference maker.
Go find a Ryan Tannehill who can manage a game while you build a team.
That's exactly why, and I've never been against him making good money. By the way, he's making $37 million this year doing nothing but rehabbing. Next year, 39 or something like that. The numbers are stupid. Don't feel sorry for him. He's still paying cash for his next Ferrari. But at the end of the day, he's not the guy. He's not Kyler Murray. He's not Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. He's not that guy.
And I don't hate to say this, but until they fix the defense, you could bring in Mahomes. You could bring in Brady in his prime. You could bring in Rodgers. You could bring in Kyler Murray. They might be 8-8, 9-6 on a good year because they could win games, maybe.
Because Gallup and Cooper are so
51-45.
Golly, the receiving core. Schultz catches balls like Witten. Gallup Cooper, CeeDee Lamb to me is hands down rookie of the year. And there's a running back. There's a running back.
Well, I don't know that you're going to give rookie of the year to a 3-9 team.
Man, but CeeDee Lamb just does amazing things with and without the football.
Yeah.
And I mean,
and here's the scary part with CeeDee Lamb. He's still back to returning punts.
Yeah. Now, I'll tell you.
He's your difference maker.
Patrick Mahomes has Kelsey as the tight end, which is a stud. His other receivers, he would say, well, give me that Cooper guy. Give me Gallup. I'll take CeeDee Lamb. Kansas City's going to win the Super Bowl this year. And
Royals aren't one of the World Series.
Yeah, no, not the Royals. No.
But until they fix the defense, this team isn't going anywhere.
Right. And I think that's what Jerry's saying. Why do I want to lock myself down? I can't go get a defensive free agent because I'm paying this guy $70 million a year or whatever. And it's not.
But I don't think that's what he's saying because
they offered him $100 million. Yeah. They just didn't offer him 105.
Well, the problem with Jerry is he puts all his eggs into the offensive side of the basket. And the problem is, as long as we've been doing this show, has been the secondary for one thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the secondary has been bad on the Cowboys for 4+ years. Longer than that, in my opinion.
Yep.
It's always been a weak spot on their defense, even when they had a decent defense. But, I mean, they got the 9th
ranked.
Since
Everson Walls quit.
Kind of.
Michael Downs.
Bill Bates was no longer safety.
Now, that's one thing. You can bring Mahomes over here, and for $500 million, shouldn't he play some safety too? Couldn't he go both ways? Why couldn't he play quarterback and safety?
You might have to just because you've got no better option at safety.
Right. Somebody said something about Christmas parties up above. I agree with Karen Lee Webb. She says, hey, Jerry Jones is the problem. I agree. He does just own it.
BJ Nelson says, anyone sad that Christmas parties aren't happening?
Yeah, I think that we've had a lackluster holiday season. I think it's a little sad. I think it's telling about Americans, our laziness and our willingness to just be set aside. You've got Amazon numbers. I'm sorry, bud. You got Amazon numbers going through the roof. You've got.
I think you're going to need that one today. I'm getting feedback. Your mic's not working very well.
See, I hate that.
I don't know what the problem is. There we go.
So you've got problems. You got Amazon doing great things. Is that better? Does that sound better?
A little bit, yep.
Sure. But you've got Amazon. Everybody's buying stuff online. You've got all that stuff, and nobody's doing the personal side of Christmas is going. Now, T-Lat and I, T-Lat, good morning, sweetheart. I know you're listening. T-Lat needed to get some those little gimme gifts, you know. We're the only people that when we got to the counter at Bed Bath & Beyond, the lady goes, you know the limit's 20, right? Because we had like those
21.
Yeah, those 2.5-inch tubes, those 2.5-ounce things. I had a basket.
Shot glasses?
Oh, man, that's what it felt like. T-Lat, she ain't messing around.
Terry Murray checking in. Good morning to you. Tammy Williams checking in. But yeah,
Terry Murray Canadian?
No.
Okay.
She's from here.
Okay, good. Hi, Terry. Welcome, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. All of our friends. I guarantee it's snowing right now in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
No? Yeah, nice weather.
J-Dub,
I think. J-Dub is.
What do you call nice weather?
40s?
I mean, it would have been cold, but your brother built a bonfire. Wow. Everybody gather around the Wallet Chow house and warm up. Bring the s'mores. Too soon?
No, I don't think so. Not for my brother.
Troy's good.
He's just laughing.
Well,
he was pulling out the old SNL references yesterday. Remember Phil Hartman when they had, what was it, Frankenstein, Tonto, and who was the other one in that? And Kevin Nealon, Phil Hartman, and I can't remember. They had like Tonto, and he was pulling out the fire bad.
Hey, well played by Chris Conrad. Says that's Anne Murray. It's Canadian.
Yeah.
Spread your tiny wings and fly away. Remember her?
I do.
Not hot. Not sex doesn't sell with Anne Murray, but talent.
Sex didn't need to sell in Canada because at that time she was about the only Canadian artist that was actually producing something that had appeal.
Her and Gordon Lightfoot.
And Gordo. Beyond the borders of Canada. So she was getting airplay
But
See, back then, Canadian radio had a rule. It was called Canadian content. CanCon is what we called
you
it
had
for
a
short.
percentage that had to be Canadian.
Had to be Canadian, and it.
What was it, like
and
90?
I was at one point. It was real high.
That's so ridiculous.
And here were the different things on it. And then they relaxed it. At one point, like 3 out of the 4, efforts that go into producing music had to be Canadian, right? I think it was like 3 out of 4.
Like the sound guy,
singer, the
band.
writer, the producer. Yeah.
Canada first.
And Brian Simmons, John Lovitz. Thank you. Yeah, that was
Great.
I think Lovitz played Tonto. Anyway, so yeah, if you didn't meet, then they relaxed it. Well, if somebody was a co-writer, if somebody might have been a co-producer,
They had a cousin that was Canadian.
Well, yeah, because the Canadian content was getting so bad
Oh,
that they had to relax it in order. Because the other thing is, any Canadians with real talent were leaving Canada. Brian Adams, Corey Hart. No, he stuck around. But you get my
that's a
point,
legit
right?
point, though. Yeah, you just moved down south.
Yeah, because but boy, there were some dogs that, and I mean, I don't mean it physically, attributionally,
Right.
not even a word, whatever. But
You played it well.
I tried. But I mean, dogs of talent.
Right.
There were people on air in Canada musically that
Zamfir, the pan flute.
No, Zamfir had legit talent.
Was he? He did. He did.
Still does. But there were people in Canada that were that were on the air. I don't know that they were selling records. That might be a stretch. They certainly were giving a lot of records away on the radio as the prizes. But if it wasn't for Canadian content, they had no chance and no talent to make it on their own. It was terrible.
The great thing about Canada is it's
I'm not
so
ragging on
cold.
Glass Tiger or Platinum Blonde. They were legit.
Like,
Cheryl's favorite band was
Anne Murray
Platinum
didn't
Blonde.
have to be hot to have her own poster because it's so cold in Canada. I mean, do you realize what a lucky man you are that Cheryl happens to be extremely attractive?
Oh, I thank my lucky stars every day.
Because, I mean, you would have married her if she was a porpoise. I mean, because it was so cold up there. Just give me a mammal, any animal that generates its own body heat.
So it wouldn't have been a porpoise.
It's not a mammal.
It is, but
I was just thinking flipper.
I know, but I'm thinking something a little snugglier.
Like a
Bear.
Right, that's nice. You know the joke,
Keep
right?
you warm at night. I had a friend who had a legit, like a bear fur coat from his great grandfather had been passed down. I put that thing on, and in like 30 seconds, it was like being in a sauna. That thing was the warmest piece of clothing I have ever put on in my life. So that's
Right.
why I went to bear.
So you know the Prince Charles, the semi-off back in the day it was off color. It's not. It's certainly radio worthy. The bear joke. You know the bear joke from Prince Charles.
I think so.
So I shouldn't tell you.
I think I know that one.
When the guy gets out into the woods, he's going to go bear hunting.
And
Goes out
does
there with-
fur stick to you? That one?
No, he goes out there with the wrong gun. He doesn't have enough gun. He shoots this bear and upsets it. He gets over there and the bear catches him and says, "Look, you got one or two choices. I can either lop your head off or I can have my way with you." And the hunter's like, "Well, do what you must." So the bear just thrashes him, and then they part ways. So the next day, the hunter's so humiliated, so upset, so angry. He gets a bigger gun, goes back out there,
I don't know this joke.
shoots at the bear again. The bear knocks him down and says, "You know the drill. You know what's going to happen here." Hunter just takes it like a man and just, it's like he's humiliated and embarrassed. Can't tell anybody, but he just fumes. And he goes back the next day with a bigger gun. And the bear just drops out of the tree and knocks the gun out of his hand. The bear looks down at him and says, "You know what to do." The guy kind of bends over a log there, and the bear says, "You know, you're not really in this for the hunting, are you?" It's not good. Folks, thank you for indulging me in that quick private moment with Ash.
Steve Kidder says kind of cruel to porpoises, though.
Yeah, well, I just thought Ash is such a giver. He would just lay there and Wet the porpoise down, wet it down, keep its skin moist. Speak moistly to the porpoise.
That's the prime minister.
Folks, Allen's Rigger Service, 578-6300.
Can't pull us out of the ditch this morning.
No, we're in the ditch. We're in the trash heap. We need to call White Trash Services 550.
Are you like in my personal space this morning? You're like right
26. It's this microphone. This is the one. This is the go back. This is the back Chris Berman throwback microphone. And I think that between White Trash Services and Allen's Rigger Service, we have the two premier service organizations in this region. Allen's will come get you anywhere in this area. It's amazing when I'm out there and I talk to Allen. These are friends of ours. These are companies we use, promote. These are testimonials. They're not ads.
No.
And the reality is Allen will get a call and I'll go, where are you at? I got to get over to Dickinson. Well, that's on the southeast side of Houston. What are you doing over there? Oh, they got a big rig with a load of, iron that's laying over in a ditch, and nobody's got the equipment to get it out.
That's amazing.
And Allen will drive all the way over there with a 75-ton train. He'll upright the trailer, put it back on the road. They'll hook it up to another rig, and if it's good to go, they get it out of there. He's unbelievable, extremely talented. It's artwork. I've seen him and Little Allen discuss, well, we could do this, and we could put a block under that and jack this up. And I goes, well, we could just grab it here and drag it back onto the road. And they strategize for the best way to, number one, not damage the load, and number two, make sure they operate in a safe manner. It's a phenomenal business. It's not like the old guy with the thick mustache and the stogie cigar who pulls up and goes, well, you need a tow? That's
hooks you up to that old bumper tow.
Yeah, that's Coach Ogeron if the Tigers keep losing. Go Tigers. Same thing over at White Trash Services. They'll pull up. They'll help you deal with where you want your roll-off dumpster while you're cleaning up after Christmas. A lot of that stuff just needs to go in the garbage. They'll haul it off for you.
Call 550-1826. Get a dumpster service. They'll wrap a bow on it if you give dumpster service as a Christmas gift for 6 months in the new year.
Look at that. Allen came and got Mr. Nelson out in Seguin. Yeah. That's awesome. That's not right next door.
No. So
there you go.
But call White Trash Services. Set up dumpster service for somebody. They'll throw a bow on it. So Christmas morning.
That's actually I guarantee you the dad that walks out and sees that goes, yes, more trash capacity. I can get some of the jobs done around the house I want to do, and somebody gave it to me. Yeah. What a blessing. Great idea. It's a great family idea. Then you've also got the VCS companies, Rock and Oilfield Services, the only locally owned and authorized AT&T retailer, is taking appointments right now to help you get the new iPhone 12, iPhone 12 Pro Max,
CVS
with a V8
2.8
10-speed transmission. You can get all that, all your accessories, all your stocking stuffers at the AT&T store. The VCS companies right now is a great time to create a media room. Turn that garage. Reach out to Charlie Garcia. Take everything out of your garage. Reach out to Charlie Garcia. Let him clean it. Put down a polyurethane coating from USA Concrete Coatings. Go over to VCS and tell them, look, I want speakers in the ceiling. I want a subwoofer and some speakers up front. I want you to put in a weather-resistant television in my garage, and I'm going to turn that into a man cave for the family. It's that easy. It'll add value to your home.
You don't park your car in the garage anyway.
Nobody does anyway. And you can. Then you back it out to watch the ball games. I'm blown away when I go to Lee Caballero's man cave. It's just, he's got an 85-inch TV in there. It's amazing.
When you think about it, that's probably the only room in most homes that can accommodate an 85-inch TV.
And his buddies, they put it up the other day. He said it weighed 100 pounds. It's awkward, because it's kind of top heavy and it's thin. And it took 4 of them to get it on the wall. 4 of them, 2 hours, and a case and a half of beer to get that TV on the wall.
Would have taken him a half an hour if he got rid of the case and a half of beer.
Absolutely. But, of course, VCS companies come out there and do that for you, and you don't have to worry about it.
And then you want to outfit that man cave?
Chesnick Furniture Company. Theater seating, recliners,
sofas,
love seats,
a bar.
accoutrement.
They've got it all.
Yes.
Well done.
100 years at 116 West Walk
No,
Road.
just 70 in that location.
Right.
They were around the corner for the first 30 years.
Isn't that something? It's an amazing part of Victoria history.
Yeah.
100 years.
I think you can still see the name. I think the Leon building, I think that's actually where the Victoria GOP office is now.
Yes, right there.
Yep. So
Chestnut and Love make your house a home, and you will simply just do better at Chestnut.
Crystal Stringham asks, is white trash dumpster service available in Port Lavaca, 6 counties, Victoria, and the 5 surrounding counties? So that would be
Yes. A resounding
yes. Jeff
I say it
Fonseca,
again.
yes. Jeffrey Fonseca says his 83 Fiero crapped out on him. You may have to call Allen's. No, there's no may involved in that, Jeffrey. It is. So
Look at BJ Nelson. Is she just as she is like is it a coincidence? BJ Nelson, PT Barnum, 2 initials and a 2-syllable word at the end. I mean, she is a promoter.
is it like the best promoter?
Yeah, absolutely.
Extraordinary.
Absolutely.
David Brogger asked, know why the 3 wise men smelled like smoke? No, I don't.
Tell us. That could be Ann. If it's a bad joke, we'll blame it on Ann. Tell us, DB.
Waiting.
We're just
Where's my drum roll?
dead air.
Where's
Just
my
dead
drum-
air.
Where's my drum roll?
So
Could be because they were well, Victoria over the weekend, and we kind of missed this one a little bit, but another Caleb Shaw Award winner in Victoria. There you go. They just came from afar. I got it.
I got it.
Called it Wednesday, bad joke Wednesday.
Nothing
That's
like
2
some-
today.
Some B-level holiday humor. So tell us about. I
think it was on Allendale Road. if I'm not
thought it was
mistaken.
I was going to talk about the other thing.
No,
But we'll
well,
get to that. We'll get to that. So on
Iceman
Allendale
says
Road-
that joke only works if you're in Texas, and that's
Right.
true.
So but Iceman's the guy that go, what are you talking about? Isn't that, oh, I get it. So that's not funny. They just came from afar because what he would think that was. It was afar.
He thinks afar is a town in Texas, the
Tell me.
Iceman.
Tell me about, but he could get ice there.
He could.
What exactly?
Yeah.
Better than the porpoise joke.
Better than the bear joke.
Thank you. Better than the bear joke. Yeah. Tell us about what happened with the Caleb Shaw Award.
Well, I mean, another car in a house on Allendale. I mean, it's what more do you need to know? That Victoria just continues at least weekly.
And it's getting to be that time. Every year since we've done the show, at least once, you drive by and at like 6:15 in the morning, the whole fire department's there because the older homes with the with the wood siding, the garage burns down. It happens every year. I think people their gas gets away from them, and the next thing you know, they burn down a garage
or a space heater.
We have a caller. What a bonus! Man, we love it when we have a caller. Who we got?
Hey,
Clayton
Clayton
Meyer.
How are you, sir?
How are you, sir? That's nice. That's when you need to take a small break, turn the radio to a different channel, take a week off from us. Don't become an addict. You know we have issues. You know we have problems. Yeah.
What bank was it? Let me ask you a serious question. How many of your dreams have come true? Well, then there's always the first time.
How many of your dreams have caused you to judge yourself based on some standard associated with ash? That makes me nervous too, Clayton. I mean, it just makes me a little nervous. If you wake up and you're like a little tingly and you're like, oh, I've got to answer to Ash about that. That's not good.
Not good at all.
So this morning, hey, thanks for calling, brother.
Appreciate it,
Merry
man.
Christmas. So in the mornings, Ash and I brief and we really do talk about things that we want to talk about and don't want to talk about on the show. And sometimes we make the decision, let's don't talk about that. It's too early, or we don't have all the facts, or I heard this, well, I did too. That's not two credible sources. That's just could be a rumor.
Yeah.
But this morning I'm listening to a news-based broadcast, and this guy goes, overnight, an F-16 fighting Phantom Falcon fighting jet assigned to the something air wing at blah blah blah, and the guy was either say disappeared, went rogue, crashed, fell off the radar. I mean, the meat of the deal was right then. The next words, ring. So as quick as I can, I hit reject, and I get rid of Ash's call because I know I'm going to call him right back, only to hear the guy go, and the pilot are still unaccounted for. So the plane and the pilot, I don't know. Did the guy go rogue? Did he steal a jet? Was he trying to go? That's the one thing that's going to happen one of these days, and that's what my brain was flipping through.
No, F-16 fighter jet crashed in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
In the Uber? In the UP?
Yep.
Oh.
And so their rescue crews are back up this morning.
It ain't easy to go find a guy in the UP.
No, not at all.
Trees, snow, ice, water, everywhere.
Yeah, a routine training mission. One pilot was on board, according to the Wisconsin Air National Guard that's leading the search.
See, that
crashed about 8 o'clock last night.
That's what the CIA wants you to think.
Here we go.
I think there's a chance that this guy went rogue and was trying to take over Canada by himself. With one fully loaded F-16, you could take over Canada. The Mounties would be out there and go, I say, sorry, that guy seems to be shooting at us on their horseback.
Please stop it, sir.
Right. Could you stop? Well, those Sidewinder missiles are coming towards us. Why would he do such a thing? I'm sorry my horse was here while you were training.
Our show doesn't trump the meeting for Christina Wise this morning like it did the other day.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We appreciate it. BJ Nelson asked if they had additional ballots that they were delivering. Have you noticed John Brennan, somewhat related, former director of the CIA under Obama? Boy, has he been on the old deny tour lately, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, there was no spying on the Trump campaign.
No, there was none ever. No, certainly none that was sanctioned by President Obama.
Yeah, no. This one says we know they all ride mooses.
Those are meese.
Elk.
Are they meese? Elk.
Moose are a little wild, hard to tame. The elk, they're more compliable.
I'm the guy that I'm game to do it. Like if you've got horses, like if you need to work cattle and you're like, I'm going to get Carter out here so I can make fun of him. I'll put on my little super tight wranglers and my ropers, and I'll even borrow a set of your spurs, and I'll get up there. I won't use spurs, but I'll get up there and I'll ride around the arena and try to look like I know what I'm doing. But I am the guy. When they say that, a horse can sense when you're a little scared of him, you're a little rigid. Why don't you relax? I'm like, this dude weighs 1,200 pounds and he's pissed. I mean, it's like getting on the back of 4 Earl Campbells.
Well, and the other thing, that ain't your saddle.
Right.
That ain't your tack.
And he realizes that I weigh 250 pounds, and he's like, oh, bother. I've got this fat guy on my back. And the next thing you know,
it wasn't a sway back mule until you got on him.
Coach, they take off. Sometimes they just run. I mean, I've been on horseback where I'm like, his nose is in the air. I'm pulling his back teeth out, and he's going, no, I'm going to keep running. I'm just running. I mean, then I go watch this reference. I go Ronnie Turcotte. Yeah, and I just let the reins down and go, well, go on, Big Red, if that's how you want to go.
Secretariat.
Because you never know when they're going to just throw on the
Canadian.
Paraplegic. Towards the end, had a car wreck. A car wreck or fell off a horse?
I don't remember.
Car wreck, I think.
I think so.
One of the most emotional. So Ash and I will go down memory lane here, but I'll share something with you. So 1973. 73.
I was a wee lad.
You were, but I remember it well.
3.5
I
years
remember
old.
that the Sport of Kings, horse racing, was there. You didn't have PETA and all these do-gooders talking about, oh, it's not fair to the horse. You had all these people that loved dressing up. They dressed up for the Kentucky Derby. They sucked down the mint juleps. You had the Preakness and the Belmont, and they went on and on and on. And the first leg, of course, was the Kentucky Derby. First weekend in May, you had Jim Neighbors singing My Indiana Home.
And don't forget, too, my old Kentucky home, you mean?
Whatever. He was from Indiana. That's a true story.
But don't forget, they also used to run quite a few races leading up to the Kentucky Derby and the Triple Crown.
They called that foreplay.
Yeah. Now they run maybe 2 races and they decide, well, yeah, this horse is legit.
And these guys, you're embroiled in the final legs of the Vietnam War. The country is divided. Some people like Nixon. Some people hate Nixon. And all of a sudden, along comes this big red stud horse that just wins the Kentucky Derby. And he's owned by a really nice lady out of Lexington, Kentucky that, you know, was just trying to get by. I mean, really, she was rich. But she needed that horse to win.
Well, the Arab oil embargo was making her just rich instead of really rich.
Instead of I don't care money, she had just money. So the horse goes on and wins the second leg of the Triple Crown, which I guess is the Preakness, is the second leg. And because the Belmont is the long one at the end, well, he had never run the long distance, a mile and a third, I think, and he'd never run a mile and a half, whatever it is. Somebody will know. I'm just stay with the story, people. And the country literally united around this horse. Everybody wanted to know. I mean, you'd be in the streets. I was a little kid in elementary school. You think Secretariat's going to win Sunday? Saturday? I mean, it was the real deal. You think the horse is going to win? You think the horse is going to win? People forgot about Vietnam for the first time in a decade. People were rallying around something that was very American, very, go get them. And they talked about this horse, and it's been in the movie. There was a movie, Secretary, but I had read it years ago. I read it in Sports Illustrated back then. Not the caddy, the jockey is a guy named Ronnie Turcotte, and was kind of known as a wild man, kind of like he would let horses do things that other people were afraid to let them do. And they take off on this huge long race that the horse had never run this far, and nobody thought that he even had a chance. There was a big Arabian horse that they were afraid was going to beat him. And everybody was like, he's jumped way out. He's the rabbit. He's running way in front of everybody. There's no way he can keep this pace. This is a record pace. There's no way he can do it. And coming around like the third turn, he's up by like 10 lengths. And Turcotte said he's throwing his head because he's getting out of his rhythm because he's mad at me because I'm holding him back. He said, I finally just let the reins down and just hung on. It gives me a chill to talk about it because the horse
and I think Ronnie thought that if I let this horse go, he's going to
wear out.
He's going to wear out and kill himself.
Yeah, well, he let him go. And they still claim that Secretariat had a flair for the people, that when you would go to the farms, and this was essentially a very high-strung, semi-wild animal, and that you would go to when he was where he stood in stud for years and years, and that he would come over and let little kids feed him by hand, and you could pet him and talk to him. He came to the people. But he won by like 32 lengths.
Yeah.
Just dominated, destroyed the field. Still holds the record of the Kentucky Derby, the fastest Derby race ever.
There was a great article in Sports Illustrated after Secretariat passed that was written by the writer that followed the Triple Crown for Sports Illustrated back in 73, right? And then when Secretariat passed, 20 years later or whatever it was, he wrote an article reflecting on Secretariat, and he used to still go visit Secretariat. I mean, he said it was just weird. The horse would remember me.
No other horse ever had that relationship with the public.
And, but the last time he went and saw him, he knew something was off because he just wasn't the old Secretariat. It wasn't much longer after that. The Secretariat had some health issues, and they had to put it down. But just a phenomenal story recapping, and really, this is when sports writing was at its best.
Oh, yeah.
And really capturing Secretariat and making a connection. And the writer the connection between the reader and the writer and the horse was just seamless. And it was a phenomenal story.
But when you hear a guy who makes his living in mount, just riding horses for a living. A lot of those jockeys will go from horse to horse to horse, from race to race to race. It's like you don't ever hear a race car driver go, "This is the most phenomenal car I've ever driven." I can't tell you why, but this jockey had a connection to this horse. For him, it was just a tool. It was like a pencil. And yet he talked with such reverence when he talked of the horse. And the timing was just such that Secretariat is to horse racing what Muhammad Ali is to boxing. You can argue whether or not either is the greatest ever, but there's no more recognizable face of either sport.
Lewis Hamilton might argue that, he's got that connection with his car. Formula One driver.
Legit. But
only won about $1 billion F1.
Right. Jeff Fonseca says reminds him of his junior high track and field.
I'm sure it does. So
yeah, I'm with you.
Veracruz today, folks. Caldo Wednesday.
Get in there.
Call it a little early. Have them put it aside for you, because if you wait, it's going to be gone.
Yeah, I did get I did have a visit with them yesterday, and they said that it just sells out every week.
Always does. Here's my tip for getting Caldo on Caldo Wednesday. Go at 11:30. Take an early lunch, because
beat the rush.
If you're there about noon, it'll be busy and you'll probably still get some. But if you end up with a late lunch, you're not getting any. Trust me, I know from experience.
The Atzenhofer dealership since 1926, Victoria's dealer. You just need Chevy, Cadillac, Mazda, Mitsubishi, paint and body work, service. They service all makes and models.
They sell all makes and models in the pre-owned division.
Great. They have a great inventory right now. Most people don't. These folks spend days scouring the market trying to find the best pre-owned vehicles to provide to you and your family. Go by and check it out. It doesn't cost nothing to look. There's a really helpful group there. They're nice people.
And there's a good website, atzenhofer.com. You can surf there as well.
Certainly shop online before you go. Man, when you just say that, since 1926, it's amazing. Razor IT Solutions since 2016. Just doesn't sound the same. No, older than that, but JP Hull and his crew can help you with all of your analytics, Facebook presence, internet presence, branding, encryption, buzzwords. Drop a word, say it with emphasis. People will believe it.
You've got a storefront. In these COVID times, you're trying to keep your doors open, your business alive.
Pay online.
Yeah, this might be the time to call John Paul Hull and talk to him about how Razor can help your business grow via the interwebs.
There you go. Look at that. Take Lucky Dan in the fifth at the Aqueduct. That is, I'm seeing the movie. Not Lords of Flatbush. Tell me, Bobcat. Razor IT says, Uncle Bud's Barbecue today, open around 11. Don't push it. Don't tell them when to open. Get over there around 11. Open. Yeah, brisket, ribs, sausage, chicken, turkey, all the side dishes. Always tell them I want some of Carter's pea salad. They've had people do it, and I appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate that. Janet Miller said, yeah, quit telling people they're going to get the Wade and Carter discount because it fluctuates. We don't know what it is. I'm like, just take care of them. They said, we always take care of them. Everybody gets the Wade and Carter discount. It's a good deal.
There's Funky Trey Molina checking in.
Funky. Spinning all your Latino hits. Funky Trey Molina. We need to get him the hour after us, or the hour after the Hall of Famer. Ralph Salazar.
Yeah, that's right. We can't bump the Hall of Famer.
That's how big Ralph is in radio. He's like, I'm going in after the hottest show on radio.
And he has no problem.
No problem. He just carries the load.
Actually,
let me tell you,
we're quarter of the hour, so we just finished the break.
No. We'll do the last break at the end. I want to tell you what a draw, what a powerful radio icon my partner is. We got a call the other day. He got a note the other day. Jesus Garza, our city manager, a guy we like. We like Jesus Garza. Jesus is a young guy, and he gets it. You can joke with Jesus. He knows the people's business is very serious business. Make no mistake. But you can cut up with him like we do with Judge Zeller, like we do with Sheriff Louderback, and Jesus gets it. He doesn't always think we're funny, but he understands.
He's like everybody else.
So Jesus had reached out to Ash because, and I'm flattered, he wants to come on the show. He wants to share with you folks what's going on. And I happened to scan today's Victoria Advocate, which isn't it interesting how our newspaper is no longer just grossly adversarial with everybody. Our newspaper is no longer inflaming or inciting and just rude to people. It's a much more tolerable product now. Thank you, George Coleman. Thank you for filling that void of decency that was missing sorely at the Victoria Advocate. Thank you to the McCaneys for righting the wrong and eliminating the cancer that had infiltrated their organization. So Jesus Garza reaches out to Ash and says, hey, I want to come on. I'm trying to think of audacity is one word. I like to give him a hard time. But he's going to come on and talk to you folks a little bit about the capital improvement program, capital improvement plan, the CIP. And we've talked about this on the show for over a year. It is a kind of a living, breathing, continually morphing deal because you've got departments, right? You've got the parks, you've got the drainage, waterworks, you've got the downtown, you've got the thoroughfares. And an emergency could happen. So there's a thoroughfare project going on right now on Crestwood. And when it's done, the work they're doing on Crestwood may reveal that right now is the optimal time to bounce over here and fix airline between Laurent and Navarro. Maybe that's what they want to do next. So they have to put a parks project on hold to do that because it becomes more emergent. So the document continually morphs. You don't get to just go in there and say, we were on the schedule in 2019 and they didn't fix our streets yet. Well, that's because yours was a residential street and we're trying to fix citywide thoroughfares. But we joke that with the CIP, we're closer than we've ever been to doing something. We're still planning, lots of planning, not a lot of doing yet, but we're working on it. Closer than we've ever been.
We got Jesus tell us just how close.
He's fantastic. Can't wait to get him on the air.
So hopefully he'll be in next week, maybe early this week. I do want to gripe a little bit, not about Victoria, because I tip my hat. Sheriff. I tip my hat to the folks of Victoria that instead of just taking the easy road, canceling the Christmas parade, like so many cities have done, they tried to bring the Christmas parade to the people, and they did. They did a reverse parade through Riverside Park was the plan. The floats would be there stationary, and everybody would drive through the park. But Victorians, in their typical ways, can't seem to follow instructions.
No, we're a fairly incompetent bunch.
We're going to have everybody enter on Red River. That's the way they wanted people to go.
So you're going down the hill past the cemetery towards Riverside
Stadium, and then that's where it would start, and you'd meander your way through the park, right?
Right. Should be pretty easy.
Should be.
20 miles an hour, exit the other end. Thanks for coming. What happened?
And there were probably some logistical things that in hindsight the city would fix. But you would think that, simple directions like that would be followed, right?
Right.
You had people trying to get in on Staten. You had people trying to cut the line at Vine Street. You had people complaining on Facebook. Oh, I've had to be in line for 2 hours and haven't seen nothing. But you're using Facebook, and you could have used Facebook to find out that there is a bit of a line, and you could have readjusted your plans to go or not to go.
Could have gone by Eskimo Hut first.
You made a conscious decision, knowing what was going on, to go and submit yourself and submerge yourself into that, and then you turn around and complain about it.
At least the city tried to do something.
Yeah, no, exactly. And these same people will have no problem waiting in line for 2 hours to go see the lights in Cuero.
Right.
When they open. I mean, it makes no sense, but it's always because half of Victoria is not happy unless they're complaining about Victoria.
Yeah, no, that's true. At least half is not happy unless they're complaining.
No. So I tip my hat to the city for trying to find a solution when they could have done what so many cities have done and taken the easy route and just shut it down and said, well, no Christmas parade. Christmas ain't coming for the kids this year.
Trey Molina asks, he says he jumped on late. Kind of wants an update on Troy Chow and his family.
Yeah. Chow and family are all right. You know, they're getting by. They're
eating out.
Yeah. They're eating at Walentina's, let's be honest.
Are they in the basement? Have they taken over the basement?
No. I think they think either today or tomorrow they're going to move on to a semi-permanent place for a while.
Okay, like a longer term rental, like a rent a house or something.
Yeah. So
it's great because they don't have to move anything. You just go. When you start accumulating furniture for your house, are they going to build back on the same place that they were?
They don't know yet. Still working all that out
through the insurance company, siding,
but
some flame retardant siding.
Yeah. ICF home might be the way to go.
Right. Just come on in, concrete.
Yeah. Our values are through the roof. You're going to have, you're not going to have to turn your heat on in the winter.
Adam Shear says, I blame Dairy Road for being third world for the long line at the park.
It's not Dairy Road, though.
No, that's Dairy's over there by
Dairy's off Guy Grant area.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. I don't remember where. I don't know what road that is.
Yeah.
James Kerr says, I'm not waiting in line for 2 hours for anything superficial. I enjoy driving through the neighborhoods, playing Christmas music, looking at the Christmas decorations.
James Kerr's like, I like hanging out at junior highs and watching kids get on the bus. Me and Joe Biden.
Not at all. Speaking of Joe Biden.
Sometimes they play with the hair on my legs.
Joe Biden says he's going to give, in his first 100 days, 100 million vaccinations, right? Well,
yeah.
Interestingly enough, you're really only vaccinating 50 million people because the Pfizer vaccine is 2 shots. Yeah, about 3 weeks apart. So that ain't going to happen.
So 50 million, that's 1/7 of the country.
Yeah. I mean, is that really enough to make a difference? I don't know.
No.
Probably not. But it sounds good. Oh, 100 million vaccinations? No, cut it in half.
Immediately start saying we saved 250,000 lives because, well, even though less than 0.1% are dying, just the numbers work out. That's just the way it is. We saved 250,000 lives.
And here's a guy who's been critical. Trump has no plan. You can't not have a plan but have a vaccine developed in 8 months.
Right. I think what the president and what the country has done is remarkable to develop. Everybody's looking to the U.S. The Brits have bought 90 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine.
You can't not have a plan, Joe Biden, and yet have Pfizer vaccinations sitting in O'Hare Airport ready to be distributed. If you had no plan, they wouldn't be in O'Hare already.
Right.
Right? I mean,
exactly.
But people have lost all ability to critically think. They just go and echo what Joe Biden said. Well, Donald Trump has no plan. Donald Trump has no plan. There have been plans. You don't get there if that's the case.
Adam Shear says, Kurth got roasted, and Kurth says, story of my life. I'm an easy target. James, you're a great friend of the show. Top fan.
Yep. Bob Watley says maybe it'll change his DNA to Trump's.
Wow.
It's I've noticed a few folks that are, government has to lock us down. The government knows what's best for us. But I'm not going to take the vaccine, even if, the government's going to. We got to save everybody. We got to do our part. We got to play our part. But they're also some of the first to say, well, I'm not going to take the vaccine.
He said DNA. He said Trump. I'm going to give you guys a new holiday game you can play. And I'm not saying this is good, bad, or indifferent. And maybe it's been a long time coming. Maybe it's just righting old wrongs. But I challenge you. As you're watching TV. Find a white person. Find a white person on a TV commercial. Jake from State Farm is now a black guy. He used to be a white guy. Was a white guy. He was a white guy. Jake from State Farm. Now it's a black guy. And that's fine. I mean, that's cool, but it's true. And I challenge you to find a married couple that's not mixed race. And that's fine, but it's just interesting. It's interesting to me.
But they're canceling programs like Blackish,
Oh yeah,
Asian American comedies. Yeah. As Conrad says, he's going to wait to see how many three-headed babies are born in the UK next year before he even considers the vaccine.
But see, Joe Biden's going to come in and say, I'm sorry, you can't travel. You're not going to be able to travel internationally until you show that you have the vaccine, because we don't want you bringing it back to the U.S. It's not about control by the government. It's really about your health, and you're too stupid
to know what's best
for you.
And then I think there was an issue in England that was uncovered by, I think, AstraZeneca, but one of the three that are making the vaccines, that there was a severe infection of one of the patient's spinal cords.
Wow.
After getting the vaccine, and they tried to hide that.
Because it's good for a lot. More people will probably, percentage-wise, more people will probably die of side effects of the vaccine than will die from COVID.
Well, and they're saying some of the side effects can be pretty severe. Excruciating pain.
So what if your 90-year-old grandmother gets this drug? How do you feel about that? Grandma's laying there and like she's having
the worst pain she's ever had. I mean, beats the labor pain she had before there were epidurals.
But we saved her life.
Or did you? Her body's in such excruciating pain and distress that she has a heart attack and dies, right? So, I mean,
Kathleen Longer says it's not mixed race. It's an LBGQTPRSTMNO couple. Okay. And what I'm saying is that's fine. I think that TV commercials ought to represent, companies have the right to market to all aspects of the country. It's just interesting that what is this country percentage-wise as far as being white? 40? They're not represented in TV ads anymore.
That's a virtue signaling. Adam Sugar says stem cells and marijuana could solve it all.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have any stem cells? Just give me an extra blunt. It'll be all right. Yeah. Hey, the Gray Barn folks.
Marijuana stem cells could solve it all.
THC. The great thing about CBD oil, this product will not get you high. Okay.
How about real quick? We didn't get to talk about this, but the state of Texas sues the 6 states that are having issues with Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona, Georgia, Nevada,
white
right?
Trash services, all serviced. The 6 states serviced by white trash.
That really need a dumpster fire to clean up their problems.
Right.
And you know what's really become interesting with this is the Atlantic. I saw an old story yesterday from the Atlantic from 2014 that was digging up the same issues in Michigan and Pennsylvania,
right, with
Dominion software. They were critical of Dominion software in 2014 going back to the 2012 election because the Atlantic back then didn't suffer from Trump derangement syndrome,
right,
and actually cared about issues that might impact the United States.
Like we've said, journalism is lost and gone. Kathleen Langer says, hey, I just make it up as I go, which is why you're a top fan and why you like this show, because we just make it up as we go.
So the state of Texas files a lawsuit to the Supreme Court. Don't know where it's going to go. It's interesting. The Supreme Court, I think yesterday, didn't rule or ruled against Pennsylvania's. I thought it was interesting that Pennsylvania's response to the Supreme Court was, hey, you can't throw this out or turn this over or turn this around because that's never happened before. That was basically their argument to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court bought it.
Well, I think the Supreme Court has to say, are we going to open this can of worms, or do we just shut it down and say, hey, in 4 years, you can do it again? They're appointed for life. They'll be there in 4 years.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've got problems with that. But do you not think maybe that somewhere along the way, Joe Biden's threats to expand the Supreme Court might have played a role in that? Well, we don't want more Supreme Court justices. We just want us 9, so we'll appease them. And
you never know what conversations are being had behind the scenes. Tell you this, Gray Barn Design, the Gray Barn. Reach out to Cheryl, 920-6803. You need a party. You need a wedding, quinceañera. You need
Quinceañera?
Attaboy. My gringo. So you need to have a birthday party, a corporate outing. You want to have a sales meeting early in the year and just give it enough flair to show your people, hey, I'm excited about 2021. Reach out to Cheryl, 920-6803. It's not expensive. She will use your ideas, her expertise. She'll tell you. What I like about Cheryl is if she says, yeah, I know what you're trying to do there, but can we come at it from this angle because this is going to be a distraction, or this isn't going to work the way you think it will. I know you want to have an arch made out of ice for people to walk under, but it's going to drip on them. Let's don't do that. This ain't the Bellagio. This is Schrader Hall. It won't work.
This ain't the Northwest Territories.
There you have it. Lint Services, Lint Electrical. I went by Lint yesterday, talked to Aaron, said, tell you hi. They're blowing and going, folks. And part of it, their business has boomed because they are the leader in generator sales. If you need a generator, you do need. If you don't have, you need a generator. But they've also got Cummins, Kohler, on and on. They've got them all.
7 different brands.
Gas-powered, diesel-powered, natural gas-powered,
solar-powered backup,
portable, lockdown. They've got them all. If you have a scenario, maybe you just want to have a generator on your barn so that if, the lights go out in the house, you've got a place to go out and make sure that you can keep that deep freeze running. They can do that for you. Every job is a custom job. They're all site specific.
Even if you just want nothing more than your backup generator to be able to plug into your power at home, they can help do that as well.
Absolutely. We talked about USA Concrete Coatings, but here's the number, 578-HOME. Whether you need your house leveled, whether you need a patio, back porch, front porch, sidewalk, pool, deck area.
Side porch.
Whatever, yeah. Side boob, whatever you want with a new coating on it with polyurethane, antimicrobial, antibacterial, got traction on it because they put down the Flex.
USA Concrete Coatings.
578-HOME. And then our friends at Budget Blinds and the UPS store. Yeah. They do it all.
Go by see Andy on the north side of town.
Fantastic gentleman.
He'll help you with anything you need.
Right now is a great time to put new blinds, plantation shutters. It's a gift that keeps on giving. You can enjoy it all year. Get rid of those old sheer. Remember when shears were in? That's back when sheer was in.
Yeah.
I
never understood those.
No,
you're like trying to keep the light out, but they let the light in.
Yeah, but they tint the light. It's dumb. It's dumb. Get you some really nice. I was going to say concrete shutters.
Yeah. Custom window treatments.
Custom window treatments.
And they can do it all. Shades, shutters, blinds.
You want some shears? They can get you new shears.
You want to go down that road?
Go see Edward Scissorhands. And also, if it's time for you to ship something for the holidays, the UPS store, they're the best. Now, I've used them on numerous occasions. Sending back direct TV stuff. You walk in and they go, oh, don't worry, Brent. We got it.
We got it.
Done. Give it those folks. They've got boxes if you need them. They have padded envelopes to help you. You just want to send a shirt to a nephew or niece. They can do it. Reach out to them. They're great folks, great Victorians. Casey and Craig will do great things for your family.
Locally owned and operated, and they're open now Sundays to help you get your holiday shipping completed.
Look at BJ Nelson, UPS store, and Andy. They're both awesome.
They are.
Andy's kind of like a subset of the UPS store because he's the guy with the cupcakes.
He makes it happen.
That's right. Hey, we love you folks. Stay tuned. The Hall of Famer Ralph Salazar coming in with Brother Gary Moses. Brother man looking sharp today. He's so sharp he cut himself. He'll be in here, and they will make you laugh, and they'll play songs that will take you back. So hang tight, and we love you. We'll see you mañana.
Bye, folks.
Top that. Top that, you little guys. Right?
That's okay. We're still smiling about it.
Yeah. Ralph's like, I can top that. Don't come back. Give me your key. Hey, this mic it's 2 days in a row. It hasn't been just right. It wasn't like even when we turned the game way up, it never really got hot. It's like you could talk right into